Good morning, everyone. Today, I welcome you all to our newly found YouTube channel called Off Court Tennis. So, we will be starting with our online podcast show, which will be uniquely called Tennis Pe Charcha. We all know other type of charchas like Pariksha Pe Charcha, Chai Pe Charcha. But I have organized a Tennis Pe Charcha. This is just a basic attempt to raise awareness of lawn tennis in our country, India. Therefore, what's better than to know it from the horse's mouth? That is tennis players and coaches. So for the episode number 1 for Tennis Pe Charcha, we have with us obviously a tennis player, but a friend and also my former doubles partner. Though we played only one tournament, but it's still worth mentioning. So I won't take his name, but I will start counting his achievements. The first one is he has won 2 ITF doubles titles and has reached single semi-finals at 5 ITF junior events. He even reached the final of ITF Grade 3 in Pune and had the highest ranking of 245 in ITF juniors. He led the state of Rajasthan as captain to win SGFI in 2016. In that particular tournament, he also won the gold medal in singles category. His highest ranking has been of top 5 in All India Tennis Association national rankings in under 18 category at the start of 2017. Now, most of you will recognize him with this point in when I will announce this point. And this point is he has been highest ranked number 40 in United States DI college singles ranking organized by NCAA in February 2020. And he was the number 1 Indian at that time. The most of the people who follow lawn tennis know who I'm talking about. He will be graduating from St. John's University with a BSc Computer Science major degree in spring of 2021, and he is now planning to pursue an MBA degree at University of Notre Dame starting from fall of 2021. So, good morning, Aditya Vashishtha. How are you?
Thank you so much for a great introduction, and I really appreciate and honored that you thought of me, bringing on in your first episode. And I also want to congratulate you for this great initiative. And I think we need more things like this, so that this is just better for the game and the more popularity in India and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you, and wish you the, this is the first episode, so I wish you the very best in the coming future for this channel. So
thank you so much, Aditya, and I'm also feeling very honored to catch you up after so long. So finally, I will be dividing this into 3 or 4 different types of 3 or 4 different segments. The first one will be everyone wants to know about your journey. Where did you start from and where are you at right now? How did you reach here? And what were the things that were most challenging as a tennis player in India? And then the challenges you faced in US collegiate tennis. And anything you want to add on. You start and I'll continue asking questions in between whenever you finish.
Of course, yeah, for sure. Yeah, so my journey started in a small town. I think it's a famous place called Bikaner, Rajasthan, and it's famous for bhujia, and rasgulla, stuff like that. So there, I mean, it's not a big tennis town, but I was just playing cricket on the streets, breaking some glasses of neighbors. Neighbors would get mad, come to my parents like, "Aapka beta kya karta hai?" Stuff like that. And then my mom was like, "Okay, you know what? Let's just put him in any sport, doesn't matter, but just not cricket." So there's a very small academy nearby, and I had this very 500 rupees racket, Costco racket. I still remember. And yeah, I started playing it, and then the rest was history. I went to Harvest Tennis Academy, then in Racket Tennis Academy in Ahmedabad. And one thing I remember that I wasn't very good in juniors. I think I would say I was under 12s, under 14s. I was like top 30, I think, or under 12, I was like 50, never won a tournament in under 12s. But I felt like, and then at that time, it's funny that I wanted to quit tennis because I was like, okay, man, like I'm in 8th grade, it's not working out. I should just focus on studies, pursue IIT or something. but my parents were very supportive, and they were like, just enjoy it and work hard, and that's pretty much it. So I did that, and I think the results started showing in under 16s and under 18s. And there, my goal became to like go to the US and get a good education, and also, tennis. And going to the US also came down to the financials, because tennis and my don't come from a very wealthy family, so I couldn't pursue playing tournaments internationally or going out of country. And so that's why I chose the college path. And when I came to college, it was, again, everything was so different. The culture, people, the level of tennis. I was surprised with the level of tennis. It's like it's a very, very high level. All international players play. And there in the first year, I struggled a lot, but again, my belief in my abilities, the core values that my parents have taught me of like respecting others, helping people in need, hard work, resilience, all these things helped me to be kind of be successful in college tennis. And yeah, I've got a great opportunity now to pursue MBA and play 2 years at University of Notre Dame. So if you have more questions, like, I'll be more than happy to answer.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, it is quite an enthralling journey, I must say. But as you know that India is a cricket loving nation. Everyone on the streets like start off with a bat or maybe a fatta, which is used to clean the clothes. So
exactly.
we get into sports with that. So
yeah,
what was your family's thought process in a micro level that you chose lawn tennis over any other sport which was already famous in India? Because as we know that lawn tennis is not that famous, and most of our parents do not know much about it. They must have heard about one odd player, Lender Pace, or say Roger Federer. So how did your parents initiate, and what was the major discussion which happened at the initial stage of your life while pursuing tennis?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think, as I said, I was just playing cricket. So my mom was like, just play any other sport than other than cricket. And there was this very small academy near my house, walking distance, I would say. Yeah. And they were like, okay, you know what, just play tennis for an hour a day. And I did that for 3 years, I think. But then some people told my parents, it was, I don't know if you guys know Uddin Bakar, his dad, Mr. Rajesh Bakar, he actually told my parents, like, I think your son is very talented, so you should just get him 60 new tennis balls and a bigger racket. And my parents were like, oh, it's going to be too expensive. so that never happened for another year. But then I got even better, and they got me 60 balls of my own balls. That was like 3,000, 4,000 rupees, and a new racket of 5,000 rupees, a Babolat racket. So then it was like 10,000 rupees. And I was like, my parents were like, we just put him to, have some fun for 1 hour. And now he's costing us so much money. So what's going on? So that's how it kind of started.
That is also a major issue when you start pursuing tennis, because it is a very costly sport.
Exactly.
One professional racket, or say senior racket, costs around 10,000 to 9,000 rupees after discount, around 40 to 45% of discount. And then the balls are very costly. And if you love to hit hard, then the ball gets finished within 1 hour session or say 2 hour session. So tennis is a very costly sport. So moving on from here, I would like to know about when there was a point in your life like you decided that you don't want to pursue tennis anymore. That was in 8th grade, as you mentioned right now. And did that because many people are good at tennis and also are good at studies, but there are many people who are good at studies but not good at sports, and there are also many people who are only good at sports and are not good at tennis. So firstly, which category did you belong to?
I would say good at sports and good at studies.
Okay, so
yeah.
So did dropping out of tennis in standard 8 sparked from the fact that मैं कुछ और तो कर ही लूंगा, पढ़ाई में better कर लूंगा, या
exactly.
So
yeah,
why did you decide to like come back and pursue sports again?
Yeah, so I mean that was just because of the support from my parents. I mean, it's not like I really wanted to quit it, but how kids go through this phase that, oh, I lost this match. I'm working so hard, putting in so many hours, and still the results are not showing. And I was like that too, just just an immature kid. So I mean, at that time, my parents. It's not just one time. I remember, like, it was like a couple of times like that. But that time, my parents were very supportive, and they were like, just enjoy it. Like, you're studying fine. Like, what else would you do? Just study, and just studying is just boring too. So just this is like an extra activity, and then you just enjoy it, work hard. And so that really helped me. And I remember after one point, I just forgot about like results, and I started enjoying my time on the court. Love hitting a forehand, love hitting a back, and then that changed everything for me.
All right, all right. So moving on, the next question to you is something which is very personal to me, and that is uh, where there were 2 or 3 major academies that were functioning in India at the time we played tennis. One was Chandigarh Lawn Tennis Association, the other was
Yes.
Harvest Lawn Tennis Association. Then there were some academies in Delhi and some academies in South. So Harvest at that time was very costly as compared to other academies. So what change did that particular academy brought in your lifestyle or say in your game? Because that was a very unique structure which came up in India. But sadly, it is not working anymore. So
You're
what
right.
is your general comment upon that?
Of course, yeah. No, and so when I was at CLTA, I was with my grandmother, and we rented a really cheap apartment in Sector 23. I remember we used to walk to Sector 10. It was a long walk. But I felt in Chandigarh, that's where I met you, and it was good tennis, but I felt like I didn't get extra tennis, extra court time. So I think that was the main difference in Harvest, because I was living, obviously the fees was way much more than CLTA, but I was living on dorms which were like 2 to 5 feet away from the court, so I can just go pick up some balls whenever and hit with someone whenever I want to. So I feel like putting in the extra work in Harvest, obviously coaches had made a huge contribution, but putting in the extra work by myself, spending time, more and more time on the court, helped me a lot to get better and gave me more and more confidence in actual matches. So
Okay,
yeah.
so in Harvest you were in hostel. So
Yes.
what is your opinion on the fact that many people shy away from sending their children to hostel, be it for education or be it for sports? Do you think that a hostel per se should be promoted for sports because it brings in discipline, or should the student or should the players stay with their families to know more about their families and converse? They are more closer to their family. So what should they opt for at a
Yeah,
younger age, at a tender age?
you're right. That's an amazing question for the viewers, I think, because you're right. When I go to India, when I come to India, a lot of parents say the same thing. Oh, mera bacha bigar jayega, that like it's hostel. So I feel like that thing you have to, don't. I would suggest, my advice would be, don't send your kid too early to the hostel. Like, send him or her when she or he is like, I think in 6th grade or something, and or 5th grade. And before that, I think by 5th grade a child has a basic understanding and of what is right and what is wrong, but in the base. So I feel like before that, prepare your son or daughter that you gotta know what's right and what's wrong, and how you don't have to waste your time when you have to play tennis, when you have to study. And also, I feel like in hostels, you have to like talk to your son or daughter constantly. Like, just talk to them, twice a day if you can in the beginning. I think that helps. That we have great technology. Right now we're talking. We have FaceTime, Skype, Zoom, everything. So it feels like you're just next to your child. So I feel like, first, like, don't send them too early, and then second, I would say is talk to them constantly. And I think sending your child is a great decision, but it has to be done with like some caution and preparation before.
All right. So next, I think we should move on to the next segment now, which is our general opinion regarding Indian tennis, and then comparing it with maybe global tennis. So,
Of course.
Firstly, I would like to know what exactly is the difference between you have played at both the levels, at the Indian level and then played at the collegiate US level. So, what exactly is the difference between the work ethic of players, work ethic of coaches, and obviously the game level?
Yeah, of course. No, so in India, I feel like, I don't know, most of the people I know that I try to surround myself with the right people, and even in India, I feel like the people who I was with they had really good work ethic, and I wouldn't say they were, not trying or lazy. I think they all had good work ethic. But I think the main difference between India and the other players outside the world is, the main difference is, I think, the funding part and the coaching and playing high level tournaments. So these are the three main differences that I thought. So first one is, funding is very important, obviously. Second is coaching. You need to have a good coach in the beginning, especially. And the third one would be a lot of competitive tournaments, and a plan to play the right tournaments at the right time. So I feel like these three things will make, that's the main difference I noticed from in India and in other countries.
There's another question that sparks from this particular idea is uh, what I have observed in general in Indian tennis is
Yes.
that we'll pay a lot of focus during juniors, like under 12, under
Okay.
14, under 16, and not that up to under 18, but under 12 to under 16, we pay a lot of focus on that. And we have observed that during these transformative years, Indians are performing exceptionally well as compared to global players. Indian tennis
Yes,
players are performing exceptionally well during 12 to 16. But
I
suddenly some
agree.
magic happens, some magic wand happens. And after under 18 and juniors and then reaching up to men's, we are nowhere closer to the global arena. So what exactly is the difference which is happening here?
Yeah, I mean, that's very good observation you had. So I think, the size really matters. Don't want to say it that way, but I feel like when you're playing against a guy who's 280 pounds, no, 280 is too much. Maybe I would say 200 pounds, 6'4", 6'5", it definitely will make a big difference. So obviously there are exceptions as Schwartzman and David Ferrer, other guys, but like it's definitely hard, So I think that part comes in. Whereas the build of Indian players is unfortunately not the same as some of the international players. And then also, I feel like tournaments, you have to play. In Indian players, I feel like we're just playing in tournaments in Asia, and then when someone from America or Europe comes to India, then he probably kind of dominates the whole thing. So I feel like we need more exposure. Get if you have more tournaments, more ITFs, more ITF juniors. India is a big country, and has a lot of money. So I think we have to make sure we have the right tournaments, ITFs, juniors. So I think that those and then also fund the top players to go play some other tournaments in Europe or America. So these are some of the things that needs to change in my perspective, and I'm
And
sure people can say other things too. But yeah.
what is the difference between psychological grooming of a player if we compare Indian tennis and then the say US tennis or European tennis? Because again, my observation
Yes, of course.
in 12 to 16 we sort of make matches or tournaments in India as make or break situation. कि भाई अगर तू अभी नहीं जीता ना तो तेरा कुछ नहीं होगा. तू अभी इंडिया
Yep.
नंबर 1 नहीं बना तो फिर कुछ नहीं होगा. So what I have observed at my time also, and now what I'm observing when my brother is playing the tournaments, they are stopping their hand. They are trying to win the match rather than to, uh, you know, learn something. So
I see.
is there any difference between the grooming of psychological grooming of players in USA and then in India?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that as you said, as you mentioned, you made some great points. So I feel like in India, people are too focused on winning, a national title in under 12s, and they're like, I mean, of course, it does matter. You can get into the Davis Cup team, it does matter in some way, but they're not looking at the bigger picture. Like instead, they should develop, the game of the player instead of focusing on the results. So I feel like this thing, as you said, America and Europe, they're doing a really good job with this. They're developing players, and there's very good structure. If you're top, so basically, if you're top of the country in the U.S., you get sponsored. In all categories, like whether it's under 12, under 14. Top 5 players, they get like special training. And they have this set schedule that they follow, and then if they have the work ethic, I don't see why they won't make it in the pro. So it's just the grooming, as you said, from the beginning. There's like like goals, setting 5-year goals. Like in 5 years, I want to be here, instead of setting a 2-month goal or a 3-month goal. I mean, short-term goals are important too. Don't get me wrong, but also, and people need to start looking at the bigger picture if they want to be successful, instead of just looking at the short-term result.
All right. So when you play tennis in USA, what are the discussions you have with your coach before a match and after a match?
Okay. So I mean, we just talk about, sometimes we agree on some things, sometimes we disagree on some things. So we, talk about what to do. And in college tennis, it's very important to get off the court early. Tennis changes when you come to college tennis in America. From an individual sport, it becomes a team sport. So you have to look out for the team. So the coach tells you, man, like if you're winning, don't mess around. Just get the job done and get your team a point, and that puts a psychological pressure on the other team. So I feel like, yeah, coaches in the US are more, they make sure they are more like managers of the team. They definitely can help you a lot in tennis, but their job is to to plan right, the right schedule, make sure that the team is close, there's the right energy and synergy in the team. So I think those are the things that coaches in the US, in my experience, make sure. And yeah, and then that's pretty much it. That's what I would say.
While I was researching about your, while I was researching on you, I was watching certain YouTube videos, whether I can find something about you or not. So I found one video I found two videos exactly. One of the video was a highlight of a match which I saw live, which was
Really?
yours against Ramnathan, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
And the other one was, I think you were practicing in Flushing Meadows along Belinda benches, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, you're right.
So describe both of those experiences, like they are,
of course,
world level players.
Yes, of course. When I was hitting with Belinda, I was the hitting partner at the US Open. So I was hitting with other players too. So I played with Schwartzman, and but specifically with Belinda, it was it was kind of intense. So so she told me that you're hitting too hard. I want you to it's like slower, and then rhythm. She said like one rhythm. You're hitting some balls really hard, some are slow. And then I think she kind of got mad at me, but I'm not sure, because she won her next 2 rounds. So I turned out to be pretty lucky for her. But at that time, I thought, oh, she's gonna lose tomorrow because she's mad. But yeah, and then with Ram Kumar, great guy. I didn't play my best that day, but I felt like I could have served a lot better. But he has a really big serve, and he comes to net a lot. So I felt like I had this pressure too, that I'm playing, India's one of India's best players, but at the same time I had belief that I could, you probably gonna think, what is he talking about? But I had this belief that I can win the match. But obviously, playing him and playing some other top players, it was a great experience, eye-opening experience. And it just, at first, it kind of made me a little bit, I fell down, but now, like, I'm motivated to improve more and reach their level. So next time I play him, hopefully I give him a better fight.
So what was the process like? How did you get selected to be the hitting partner of such top players at the US Open?
Yeah, so this was, so I emailed some of the people and at the US Open, and my coach also, my coach from St. John's, he also emailed some people from on the US Open. Thing is, US, like, St. John's is pretty close by from the US Open courts, and so we know some people there, and I think you need to have a 13 UTR, so I had that, and yeah, that was pretty much it. I was very, I got to watch all the matches. It was just an amazing experience. I might do it this sorry, excuse me, do this US Open too, so I'm excited for that.
That's wonderful, and that is a very proud moment for all of us. So
Yeah.
we would like to, we would prefer to you to have a hitting partners. So
Yeah.
let's wait for that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So now I think it's time to move on to our fun segment.
Oh, nice! I'm excited.
Yeah. So we will start with, I will throw some rapid fire questions, and it will probably throw you in an uncomfortable position, but stay cool as you are on a court and try to answer most of them.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I will start with the first
so
question.
wait.
Yeah.
Wait. So if I can answer a question, then can I just say no comments?
I don't think so. There is a question as such that tough. I think you will handle that. So let's see. Yeah. It is not that tough, to be very honest.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first question, you have to say the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay. Is that fine?
Of course. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is fine.
So when you were playing Indian tour, who was the one player who always made you laugh?
So I can't think about it?
Yeah. 5 seconds.
Oh, 5 seconds. One player always made me laugh. It's a good question. No
one?
I don't know. I would say my friend Baka. I don't know. Odin.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the next question is, one match from past you wanted to be a part of, maybe as an audience, ball kid, or even a chair umpire?
So it could be any match?
Yeah, any historical match. Yeah.
Of course, yeah. It's going to be Djokovic versus Nadal in 2012 Australian Open. Yeah, the best match ever. The best match ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to be the crowd there, not the umpire, because it's going to be too tough to sit there for 6 hours.
So the next question is, if you tomorrow wake up as Novak Djokovic, what will be the first thing you do?
I will give 10 million of my prize money to players below 300 ATP.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So next question is, one player you would allow to play for your life?
One player I would allow to play for your life? I would play you.
I'm out of form. It will make you feel very soon.
It's fine. I'm sure you still got it. You mentioned you hit with your brother, so you still got it, man.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Big responsibility, but I'll try. So next question, a little serious one. So I want you to think upon that. The best tennis
Okay.
brain in Indian tennis. This must be from, maybe it must be from your generation, and if you do not have one, you can answer the other.
Okay,
Senior
best.
to
So it's like on a tennis court, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I want to go for Manish Suresh Kumar, I think, because he always looks like this mysterious guy, I would think, and then he's always so consistent, and I'm sure he's a hard worker too. So I would say he is the one that has, he knows how to win matches. I played him one time. It was lost in tough fight, but yeah, he's pretty good, and I would say his name. I would pick him.
All right. So the next question is, one match you played and after that you felt, how did I win this?
There was actually a match I played 3 days ago. There's a guy. It's actually my biggest win of my career. There's a guy. His name's Ryan Shane. He won the NCAA in 2015 from University of Virginia, and he's like currently ranked 600, highest 300. Played at the U.S. Open, but I played him three days ago. After being injured for 2 months. It was a very emotional match for me, and I don't know how I won it. It was, I mean, I know he kind of tanked, but I still feel like it's a great victory for me. So I'm happy.
Skipping the interview worked.
Skipping the interview?
Yeah, we decided the other day, right? On Tuesday. Was that the match?
Oh yes. No, it was on Monday actually. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the next question is, one shot in tennis that you can hit correct even in sleep.
Forehand inside in.
Oh. Mine is backhand.
Yours backhand, huh? What, cross court or forehand?
Anywhere. Anywhere.
Really?
Yeah. The last question is, yeah, say.
Yeah, what about your brother?
Forehand. Cross.
Forehand. Oh, nice.
Cross.
Yeah.
The last question for the rapid fire round is, one word for lawn tennis.
Happiness or dream, I would say.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with this, we come to the end of our rapid fire segment. So it was fun talking to you. It was very insightful. And the reason I chose you, for my first interview was to set up a base so high so that we can get insights both sportingly and also intellectually, because I know you are equally good at studies and you are equally good at lawn tennis, and I really appreciate what you are doing, because it is not easy to manage studies along with such an intensive sport, because I've tried that and I've also sort of managed that both since like 6, 7, 8 years, and it is very tough to manage. So kudos to you, and we are really proud of you as Indians. I continuously read about you, and most of us must be reading about you, and it makes us really feel very proud. And I am also very proud to be your doubles partner once, although we lost in semis.
We did. I don't even remember.
I remember
but
that.
Where was it?
Chandigarh.
What tournament?
It was SS, I guess. 14 SS.
Yeah. And who did we lose to?
Rishabh.
Did we?
Rishabh and Sagar.
Sagar. Oh, I remember. I remember. Yeah, it was court 1, maybe, right?
No, court number 3.
Oh, then okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
The one between the
court
forest.
Number. Yeah, you're right. Missed that court. But yeah, I want to, thank you so much for your kind words, and I really appreciate it. There's so many, there may so many other guys who are better than me, so I'm not like not up there, but I'm trying my best. But I really wish you the very best with this initiative. I think it's amazing, honestly. It's a great thing that you're doing, and a lot of people should know that what's going on. We have to take use of the new technology, and come up with ideas like this to make tennis more fun, and and yeah, and I wish you the very best. Thank you so much, man. I really, really appreciate. And I'm honored that I'm the first guest, and I know this is going to be a big success.
Hopefully. Lastly,